stressful, especially through our teenage or even preteen years. And you may not realize it, but many kids will use food as an outlet for their emotions that can lead to dangerous eating disorders. But there is help out there. Hastie Thompson has seen a lot of it as a weight loss coach. And hi, Michelle. Welcome to California Live.
Thank you for having me.
So what are some key signs that parents can look out for?
So they want to look out to see if their child is truly overeating or if they're just concerned or worried sort of preemptively.
So let me ask you, what do you think causes eating disorders in general? Is it the control issue? I almost feel like it's a little bit of a control issue.
Yeah, and we have a wide spectrum, right, of eating disorders. But when we talk about binge eating specifically, it's almost always coming from some type of deprivation or restriction. So when we think foods are good or bad and we label them that way, it creates restriction, even if we're eating it because, like, I shouldn't be eating this. So then we feel like we shouldn't be, and the body wants more of it. So really, with binge eating, it's really about deprivation and restriction, which is why dieting is so dangerous and does lead to longer-term issues more than it fixes a problem.
And then also outside activities also contribute to eating disorders, you know, and just
Absolutely.
disorders in general, whether you're in a sport or, you know, you have friends that are really obsessed with their eating habits.
Absolutely.
So I have a 3-year-old. Sometimes he's constantly saying, "Mommy, I'm hungry, I'm hungry." And there are times where I say, "Okay, are you really hungry or are you just eating?" But he's little, so I just give him the food.
We're going to assume that you can trust their body's instincts.
Okay.
Unless you see some behavior that looks out of the ordinary.
So how early would you start worrying about those signs?
Only if you see like a hyper focus or obsession on food. Like if they're constantly wanting the same kinds of foods, maybe a lot of junk food. Kids eat junk food, don't get me wrong.
Oh my gosh.
More than us. But if they're noticing it's kind of obsessive, or if they're wanting food when they're bored, or just when you're like, I don't think this is hunger, then we can start checking in and asking more questions about that.
Okay, so what about the question with junk food, right? You want to avoid giving a lot of junk food to your kid, but then you also don't want to not give them any junk food, because then I feel like they might want it more.
They do.
Okay.
So deprivation and restriction creates binging. So we can't take it all away. It's going to make them want it more. That's human nature and behavior, right?
Yeah.
So we have to allow them to have it, but what we want to do is when they eat it, have them sit at the table, no distractions, no tablets, breathe, taste it. Do you like it? What do you like about those Cheetos or, you know, whatever it is? And then have them really be present with it, and their body will naturally say, that's enough.
That's a really good point. I never really thought about asking my son, okay, let's go to the dinner table. And we do have dinner, but then when he wants more, I'm just like, okay, just have the cracker. It's fine.
They want it when they're bored pretty early, I've noticed, because I have a 4-year-old. And so what we want to do is have them sit at the table and no tablet, because he'll want to bring the tablet. Well, if you're hungry, sit down and eat. Or if you want to watch a tablet, go watch your tablet.
Watch the tablet. Okay, so when do you start introducing calories or reading labels?
Never.
It's such a, you know, tricky situation right there.
And I know everyone's intentions are good because they want their kids to be informed, but the problem is it puts the wrong attention on weight and food. We don't want them even thinking about that. We want them worrying about playing and having fun, not did I eat enough calories today or did I eat too much cake?
Yeah.
It's not the focus.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Michelle.
Yeah, no problem.